This is the Teacup Coin Purse, and there are 4 panels to this. So you have 2 of the outer piece and then 2 of that inner piece like that. I've jumped ahead slightly just so we can kind of get things all done in one video. But what you're going to do first of all is first attach it to the zip. Now we've given you a zip that's a bit longer than you need, and that's just to make your life a little bit easier. So the way we're going to put this in, I'll show you how this side went in, and then we're going to repeat the process for the other side. So you want your backing piece down first, then your zip face up, and then your top piece face down. And then you're going to sew with everything lined up with the tape on this side here. So on the right hand side, you're going to line everything up and then sew to attach everything together. You're then going to flip these right side out and give them a quick press. So take your iron, give that a quick press along there. Make sure that these sides all line up perfectly so everything's nice and straight once you've pressed it. And then just add a little row of top stitching across the top of there, and you want it as close to that edge as you can get it. And then we're going to repeat the same process for the other side. So we're going to put the lining down first, and that's going to be face up. And we're going to line that with 2 things this time, with the edge of the zip tape and with either edge of the actual panels that we've just added. So we're going to line all of that up a little bit more, I think. That's perfect. And then we're going to add this piece onto the top. So that's going to go over the top there. Again, make sure it's lined up firstly with the tape and then secondarily with either side of the other panels as well, because if you're off, when you come to construct it into the pouch itself or the purse itself, it's going to twist. So as long as you make sure that you've got those lined up, you'll be absolutely fine. So we'll do exactly the same again. Line of stitching just to secure it all into place, and then we're going to come back and top stitch it as well. So when I come back to you, I will have done both of those things and we'll be ready to do the next piece of the project. Now they're both in and they're both top stitched, it's time to actually assemble the purse. So what we're going to need to do is add the handle in, and we need to remember to leave a gap to turn this right side out. So we're actually going to take it and join these 2 sides together and the backing 2 sides together. So you may want to pin these because obviously when you get up close towards where the zip is, it gets a little bit bulky, so it might be advisable to pin these. So get them lined up, and with these you are going to attach the 2 sides together, and you're going to leave a gap at the bottom on the lining side. So let me just whack a few pins in here so you can see how it goes together. Go. So a few on that side so you can see they go together. You want to come in about 1 inch or so. Let's put that red one in to remind me to stop, and then got another red one to remind me to stop on the other side. There we go. So pin all this, pin all these together as well. When it comes to this side, which is going to be your outer side, you're going to need to add your handle in. So decide where you want that to be and make sure you leave a good kind of centimetre from the seam allowance. Now if you want your handle to be a little bit smaller, you can do that, but what I would advise you do is don't actually cut this until you've put everything together. Once you put everything together, you can trim off the excess, but I'm going to leave mine about, I think about so big. That's quite cute. And then we'll pop that over the top and do exactly the same with this one and pin everything in place. So next point is the zip that's here, because what you've got is you've got quite a bulky bit, and because we've top stitched as well, that's not going to sew right the way up to those seam allowances and right the way up to that zip. So get it as far as you can. You really don't need to worry, and you'll see when you turn this right side out that you won't actually see this point here where you've got that zip joining. So you're going to sew all the way around as far as you can get it up on this side, and then all the way around the front and all the way around this side. Now before you do sew all of that together, it's advisable just to open that zip and get it at least into the main body of the purse, because if you don't and you sew all the way around, you can have a really hard time trying to get that back along. So you're going to need that open so you can turn everything right side out. So leaving a gap at the base, round this side, stop, round that side, stop. And with these, I would always work from the bottom and just get it up as far as you possibly can up on either side. So I'll take this to the machine. I'll sew all of these in place. So this one. With this, you can sew straight across the bottom as well, and round and up to the other side, and round this side, leaving that gap to turn it right side out. And then let's show you how to turn it right side out and how to get it finished off. Everything's stitched together and the handle's in there as well now. So before we turn this right side out, there's a couple of things we're going to need to do. One is, as you can see, I've added a load of snips into those rounded corners at the bottom of the cup, and that's just to help it when it turns right side out to actually get that fabric to sit nice and flat. Assuming you have your zipper in the centre bit there, which it needs to be, you can trim away any of this excess zip tape, so we can take that bit off there. And on this side, obviously, we've got the metal clip. I'm actually going to leave that on and just trim the bit after it, because I don't want to be too close to that metal clip, and I don't want to take that metal clip through my scissors either. So once I've trimmed that excess zip away, it's a case of turning it right side through. So let's do that. And it will need a good press once you've done this. So we'll pop everything the right way out, and it'll end up a bit like that. And then what you're going to have to do is push the lining into the cup itself. So we'll pop that into there. You might want to sew that up actually before you do, because there will still be a little gap in the bottom, so you do need to kind of just finish that gap off. But first of all, we'll check everything is all right. And you can see there, even though we had little gaps when we sewed that round, you don't see them at all once it's put together. So there you go, there is your finished teacup coin purse.